Yo, what's up, everyone? Another episode of the BCS Sports
Yo.
Show. Yeah. It's just me and Bryce right now. Soon, Specs will be here. Hope
This is a
maybe.
first.
This
It's
is the
never been
first. Yeah,
me and you.
usually it's just me and Specs
It's
starting.
never been me and anybody on this one.
Right. It's all good.
It's funny is when Specs and I had his old podcast.
Mm-hmm.
There was a week where he was out, and and I literally thought about just being like, "Oh, I'll put like," because we didn't do a live thing. We just recorded and then posted.
Right. Yeah.
And there was part of me that thought about like doing like a here it's Bryce, sort of thing.
Right. It's like it's
I
just
think
solo show
we did
today.
have a couple episodes where it was just Specs,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
not
Not a whole bunch of them. Yeah.
a whole bunch of them. Yeah, so it's just it's never been me and just you is the thing.
Right.
And obviously it hasn't been me and Brandon since that old podcast. So
That's true.
I'm always a part of the three of us. So
The Brand Specs did one with some other guy, right? Didn't he? Because there was one both of us didn't.
He did do a week where he had Tim on.
That's right. Okay, that's who it was. Yeah, I couldn't remember.
It's okay that you almost called him by his first name because I'm pretty sure Tim called him by his first name a lot.
Oh, you did like 3 minutes ago, so it's all good.
Did I?
You did.
Did I call him by his first
100%.
name
You
That's
did.
funny.
Yeah. That's why I accidentally did it.
The thing is first of all, he doesn't actually care anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. Yeah.
He used to care. I remember one time when he first started streaming. This is just a little tangent story. But I
it's all
remember
good.
when he first started streaming, he had me join a stream with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept calling him by his first name, and he was like, "Dude, you're doxing me." It's like, first of all, just calling you by your first name is not doxing you.
Generally does not.
I guess a little bit, but he's not famous enough for that to really be a big concern. Nobody was going to his Facebook and looking up, all the people with that first name in the world and going, "Hey, there he is."
As of there are a lot of people with that first name, so
it would take a long time.
That's impossible.
Honestly, what's funny is I honestly I remember one time he was playing Final Fantasy. Again, just one more tangent story.
No, you're good.
But he what's it called? Sorry, I was just finishing something. He was playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was fighting this thing called a Hell House.
Oh, is that the giant house with legs and is like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was having the hardest time with it. And the whole time, without giving anything away, the whole time I kept really emphasizing the name of that creature.
Yeah.
For
reasons
that you would know why.
I do know why, yeah.
and honestly, again, even with his last name, he's tied his specs naming with his sports writing that he used to do.
Right, and that's the thing is with
articles,
the
his
sports
name's
writing.
right there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The internet, great place.
Anyways, but it was just funny. So that's why it's funny. Like that's why I do stuff like that is because I'm like, well, if people really want to find you, they can find you now. So but anyways, so March Madness.
Do you want to talk about
in the brackets? And
you are.
Do I want to talk about BYU?
Do you want to talk about BYU first? Just because I know it will drive Specs up a wall. Though maybe you want to wait because it'll drive him up a wall. I don't know.
Well, no, he probably would want to be here for me talking about it just because it's a BYU loss. But
true.
Get it out of the way. But I've had a lot of conversations with people about this on social media. BYU's defense did not do themselves any favors against Bama. But that was a historical performance that even with BYU's poor perimeter defense, I saw some Utah fans who were like gloating that BYU lost the Sweet 16. It's like your team's playing in a brand new tournament that nobody's playing in Las Vegas. Like,
right.
Don't like your team. By the way, is in that tournament too. So the
Hell
crown.
Yeah. We went 1-18 in conference play. Let's go.
It's yeah, you're bottom tier of the conference, and you can't be like talking crap about team that finished third in the conference. So it's just funny. But there are people that basically try to make this point of like saying, BYU, didn't play defense, and that's why Alabama had this amazing. And it's like, honestly, I was talking to one of my buddies about it at work, he's an Arizona State fan actually.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I was like, honestly, I think you play that exact game again with BYU's exact defense exactly as it was. I guarantee you, Alabama misses probably 6 or 7 of those threes at least.
Do you think so? Just because
I think so. I think you play that game again. Nobody makes threes. Even like if you're just shooting in the gym, especially in college, you're not making threes at as high of a clip as they do. And like,
they shot 49%.
People have played off of what's his name. What's his name? I'm trying to think of the guy that had like the biggest night for Alabama there.
I have the
John Sears.
Mark Sears, yeah.
Why did I say John Sears? Who's John Sears? But he, I think I might know a John Sears somewhere in my life, like a college professor or something.
Right.
So he went what 10 for? I'm trying to pull it up on my phone.
10 for 16 from 3.
10 for 16.
Yeah.
And how did he do tonight against Bama? And like Bama wasn't exactly in his face.
Oh, you're talking against Duke?
Or against Duke.
Let's see.
How did he do for Bama against Duke?
He went 1 for 5 from 3, 2 from 12 from the field. It's tough.
Yeah, so and they weren't. And I watched the game. They were not playing him like they weren't bodying him up.
Yeah.
So like that's probably 4 or 5 of those threes right there.
Yeah, I mean for the season Alabama, he shot 34% from 3. So yeah.
Yes, he had a better night because BYU's defense, but I think that you give 5 or 6 of those threes back, like on the same exact kind of game. Like again, yes, BYU should have made better adjustments, and they did.
Yeah.
I did have some complaints about the reffing in that second half, just like right at the beginning, because nothing else mattered. Like, yeah, maybe there was bad reffing at other points. I don't know. I wouldn't have.
Yeah, but you were down by 11 at half. Bad reffing extends that.
We got back within like 7 or 8 or something.
Yeah.
And I think it was Richie Saunders. I can't remember if it was Richie Saunders or if it was Baker. But I think it was Richie Saunders hits a 3. And all he does is he just passes by, and I think he passed by the Alabama guy who was defending him, and just literally just was like, "Yeah, we're in this" or something. He did. I did not look like he said anything other or yeah, it's not that hard. Like he just kind of gave him like a little bit of like like the guy from Bama did not react, so he clearly didn't like go, "You're a pansy," blah 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 blah, blah whatever. It was he was it had to have been very soft, and all of a sudden. My least favorite ref in college basketball, Padilla, I forget his first name.
Oh god, it's not good to know their names.
It's just like technical. And I'm like, what are we doing? And I'm like, that's basically 4 free points to Bama. It's like, I don't know. It just felt. And then there was another point where they called out of bounds on BYU where the guy wasn't out of bounds when he touched the ball. Like, just
it's tough. It doesn't help.
Well, Tony Padilla is his name, but yeah. So and again, I'm not going to sit here and sell that as the reason BYU lost. I mean, there's part of me that's like, if those calls hadn't happened and BYU was able to get back within 6, 4, somewhere in that range.
Right, yeah.
Could it have been a different game because BYU's players were amped and then playing much more aggressively? I think it probably would have been a much closer game if those couldn't have happened because the flow of the game and the momentum matters.
It does.
When
100%.
you're like taken out of the play like that, it's like. But again, I'm not gonna blame that because Alabama had a historic shooting night, so it's like I don't think. And again, I still personally, I think on a night like how BYU played defense, I think you probably shoot closer to 40%. So they missed probably, like I said, 5, 6, 7 of their threes, and all of a sudden BYU's in the game at the end of the game. But
not only that, BYU also shot 6 for 30 from 3. They shot 20%.
Yeah,
so that's the entire swing, right? Everyone goes back to the mean.
A great game, and then BYU played a terrible game.
Yeah,
like from 3, and so it happens.
Yeah,
it sucks, but like I was willing. Like I thought about it the next day. I was like, I'm honestly kind of willing to accept that loss. Like,
I mean that's just
play that game. I literally thought in my head, I was like, if we played that game again tonight, it's probably a completely different game.
1,000%.
That's fine. It's fine. We made it to the Sweet 16, and we got AJ DeBonsa, the number 1 recruit, coming in next year. It's like,
this game. Just looking at the stats, this is 3-point variance is essentially the difference in that game because everything else is relatively even. Rebounds, turnovers, steals, blocks, assists. Alabama crushed you guys, but that's also because they made way more threes. So yeah, like it sucks to lose in that way, but yeah, I kind of agree. Just looking at the numbers, like you play that game again, that's a really close game because you're not shooting that bad, and Alabama isn't shooting that well, usually. Because I think for the season they're pretty similar in terms of their 3-point shooting. Yeah, like 35 to 37%. So, but
oh man,
I guess that's March Madness, right? Though, like. One bad game, one good game. It's makes all the difference.
And that's the thing. It's like, and I think that's the thing. Kevin Young, who what was I gonna say? Sorry, I was trying to think of what I was gonna say. Kevin Young, who's coached, it was a top assistant in the NBA. He was the highest paid assistant before he came to BYU.
Yeah.
And was probably in line for either last year or this year getting a head coaching job somewhere. But he said like one of the things that was hard that was an adjustment in the NCAA tournament this year. Oh, look at Specks.
He's here.
Ruining our layout.
No, we're good. I'll fix this. No biggie.
Oh, well, you're already going?
Yeah, we're started. Yeah,
we were gonna wait till 9:30 to start. What do you think we are?
I was gonna say just skip it at this point. But
yeah,
hey,
we figured we'll would talk the BYU stuff.
We'll finish the BYU stuff and just kind of talk about brackets and Cooper Flag and whatever.
I also want to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies head coaching.
I guess baseball season started too.
Baseball season ended for me the same day it started.
Hey, I mean, Angels won 1-0 today, so we're back in it.
Ooh.
We're tied for the top spot in the West. Oh wait,
the Rockies are 500 for the only time this season. So
with Mickey Moniak too.
With who? Who's that?
Mickey Moniak.
Is that the guy we traded for?
No, this guy you signed after he sucked so bad we released him.
Oh, yeah, we dumped him. I'm glad we're getting the sloppy seconds from also one of the worst teams in the league. It's good. Good Rockies move.
Hey,
hey, we're both in the basement together. I mean, you guys are better than us, but I mean, actually, you guys are way better than us. We suck. The Rockies are terrible.
I was gonna say, if Chad can stay healthy this year, playing in right field, then
yeah, that's the thing is you at least have a superstar. I looked at Chris Bryant going back, like first off, he doesn't have a hit yet this season. Going back to spring training, he's 1 for 27 in his last 27 at bats, which is fantastic. So,
but yeah, anyways, so to finish off the BYU stuff, it's just it's disappointing, but yeah, and so Kevin Young, he basically was like, the tough thing about March Madness compared to the playoffs is in the playoffs team has a lights out game like Bama did, and you come out the next day and you can turn the script on them.
Yep.
It's kind of And that's the one and done nature of March Madness, and that's what makes it madness, and that's what makes me love it, and what makes me hate it at the same time. So
yeah, it looks like speaking of March Madness, it looks like we're getting
the most boring Final Four in the history of Final Fours.
I was gonna say we're getting 4 number 1 seeds. Like if Houston and Auburn win tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say for right now, that's what it's looking like.
That's what it looks like so far, which sucks. But,
yeah, because I'm guessing Houston's probably gonna take down Tennessee, and I think Tennessee's probably the best hope for a 2 seed.
Yeah,
I don't think Michigan State has what it takes to take down Auburn, although I probably will be rooting for them.
It's crazy. We also had 1-2 in every region except for the West, where it was the 1-3 matchup. God, where'd the madness go? That's awful.
BYU was the last somewhat Cinderella team.
Yeah, that's tough. So yeah, I guess we'll see.
I guess Arkansas was in the same bracket, and they almost won, right? Didn't they?
Yeah, they almost beat Texas Tech. But yeah, it was
Arkansas was the other last bastion of hope for. Although I was happy Texas Tech took them out, because I'm rooting heavily against the SEC. The whole thing of having 14 teams in the Final Four, or in the total tournament, it was ridiculous.
That's a lot of teams. Yeah,
there should have been some mid majors that had gotten a chance. So, because my favorite thing is when they're like, "Well, our bottom teams lost, and that's what you'd expect, right?" And it's like, "Yeah, that was our complaint: is your bottom teams aren't going to do anything, and we might as well let a mid major either not do anything or try to have a Cinderella run." Like, the whole 14 teams thing is ridiculous. So it's like,
yeah, that is crazy.
And I mean, today, you eliminated one of the Big 12 teams and then one of the SEC teams. So if tomorrow goes the way I'm thinking, then because really what I'm hoping for tomorrow is that Michigan State and Houston win, because then it's, even if that's not necessarily what's best for my bracket, it'd be nice to
have. That'd be what, 4 conferences represented at that point.
You'd have Big 12 for Houston, SEC for
Florida, ACC for Duke,
and
then Big 10
for Michigan State. Yeah.
That's the way.
You don't want like a half of the Final Four being SEC. They would not let anybody stop here. Like,
the thing is, they would cannibalize each other because they would have to play each other. So
yeah, I mean, you'd get your final team being one SEC team and one whatever team,
and then Duke could be the heroes that we all expected, right? Is that?
No, it's gonna be Houston. Houston's defense is gonna win them out. So
let's go, Houston. All right.
Whoa! Whoa! Look at that background.
Oh, you're muted.
Gonna be a green screen soon.
Yeah, let's go. All right. I guess, do we have anything else in terms of March Madness? Especially got anything for March Madness?
No, I mean, Cooper Flagg is as good as we thought he was, he's really in terms of at least against college teams. He's probably cemented himself as the number one pick. So
I'd like to say thank you BYU for showing up and I guess trying.
Hey, they got farther than I honestly thought.
What I said before you joined in, Spects, was it's tough to fight against a historic 3-night.
Oh yeah, when you're I remember they're kind of like what the Rockets should have done in Game 7.
Yeah. In fact, when we halftime and BYU was down 11 and Alabama had been so hot, I thought, okay, well, Alabama's going to cool down a little bit at halftime, and BYU has a good chance to keep doing what they're doing, because BYU wasn't going off of hot shooting; they were pounding the paint and stuff. So I was like, yeah, this could work out. And then, if anything, Bama got hotter at halftime.
Yeah,
so
that's gross.
Sorry, I had to alert my roommate that there was Warhammer grand vinyls on.
I'm sorry, Warhammer Grand Finals, as in
Yes.
like professional Warhammer.
Mhm.
Am I gonna learn? Okay, I'm gonna look that up later. I'm gonna learn Warhammer.
Please don't.
No, I already play Magic, dude. It's too much. Do we want? I want to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies and firing Taylor Jenkins 2 days ago. Why?
He's not paying attention to you, but
That's fine. Like, has there ever been a coach fired like this late in the season that you can think of? Because we're like, there's like what 10 games left in the regular season, and the Grizzlies are in the 5
NBA,
seed.
I'm having a hard time thinking.
Yeah, it seems weird, right?
Usually those firings happen early in the season.
Yeah, like usually they're like January-ish.
Going to talk to somebody.
Nah, that's all good.
I mean, the Mariners fired their manager with like 2 weeks left in the season or something this year, so it's not that unheard of.
So,
really?
We're NBA too. It's just a.
But were they in a playoff spot though? Like that's what I don't get.
They were in the playoff race when they fired Service. They were like,
because that's the thing that doesn't make sense to me is you're 2 weeks out. You are fighting for a top 4 seed. You're a game behind the Lakers and in the 5th spot currently. Like, how does that make sense?
Well, yeah, Scott Service got fired August 22nd.
Really? Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, it feels fishy. Like there's something else going on, especially because like the fact that they're 44-30 with all the injuries they've had is honestly a miracle, considering John Morant has played like 30 games.
And just to put this in perspective, because I know like the Grizzlies are in the playoff race, they lost out on a wild card by a single game.
The Marlins did.
The Mariners, yeah,
or the Mariners
in the wild card, yeah.
Yeah, that's weird, man. This feels like kind of like the Ime Udoka one a couple years ago from Boston, where they fired a guy and you're like, that doesn't make any sense, and then something.
And then he turned out to be a diddler.
I don't think that's what that was.
No, he what did they say? He had an inappropriate relationship with somebody on staff.
Yeah,
It wasn't a diddler.
It was hey, I banged my boss's wife or some shit, like something like that,
or something like that.
No, I thought it was that he was just having a relationship with one of his subordinates, and they were like, nope.
It might have been. See, that if I remember the story right, because I remember there being some pushback because apparently it was consensual between both of them because they were both
literally
it was just like
a matter of he was dating a subordinate, and
and
it
was
that's a no-no.
Really and the Celtics, anyways, so
and the Celtics were like, we don't do that kind of thing here.
Yeah,
it's an HR thing.
So and that would make sense because if it was anything more egregious than that, the Rockets would have stayed away with a 20-foot pole. So, but yeah, anyway, the Taylor Jenkins thing feels weird just because he's been a good coach, and like last year they were halfway decent with no one on their team basically, and this year they've had a bunch of injuries too. I don't know. It feels weird though. As a Nuggets fan, I'm not too upset just because that probably helps us as well as you guys. So,
probably.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about in terms of
not really
whatever?
No, I will say this: Don Nelson got fired from the Knicks in '96, and he was 59 games into the season.
Interesting. Okay, so I guess there's
the reason was because he said, "I think we need to trade Patrick Ewing," and a month later they fired him.
Okay, well then and also
a matter of
the owner at the time too.
Jesus Christ! I was gonna say that Roki Sasaki sucked in his home debut, and despite him sucking, the Dodgers are gonna win 7-3.
Fantastic.
Gonna be 4-0, or gonna be what 5-0?
Oh yeah, they play those games in Japan, didn't they?
No, and that's it. It's over for everybody.
God, I hate baseball.
The credit card, the pay-to-win team.
Yeah, it's stupid. The Rockies have scored a total of 3 runs this year, which is really nice. Or
scored more than the Angels.
4 runs. Sorry.
And we're 1-1.
Really?
We scored
That's
2.
Crazy.
Against the fucking God, I hate them.
our opening day was delayed because we played the Rays, who don't have a stadium. Isn't that sick?
The thing about the Angels is in,
they played on Friday. They just know they're playing.
Sometimes
didn't everyone else play on
the
Thursday?
Angels will score 9 runs, and then they'll score 0 runs the other 2 games of the series.
So MLB does it weird. They'll schedule some teams on Thursday and some on Friday.
Oh,
just in
interesting.
case, because like the Midwest can it's basically like
A rain
buffer.
out.
Yeah, because like
Buffer,
you know how like the
Oh,
Midwest, like the Midwest can have weird weather at this time of year still.
That's true.
They want to make sure. Yeah, they want to make sure that that every team can have an opening day solid.
So they'll schedule some on Thursday. Like I think they had the bulk of them on Thursday, but then like it was
Yeah,
like, oh hey, if some are rained out, they can Friday. Just it wasn't a delay. It was just like the way they
scheduled
spaced it out. Weird.
It was just funny because I read an article and it was going over the initial reactions of opening day for every game, and it had the Rockies Rays, and it was basically like, thank God these guys didn't play today. This is the worst game of the day, and it's like, okay, cool, thanks, man. 1, 2.
Hey, whatever works for you.
And Taylor Ward has continued to show that he, for some reason, hits really well in the leadoff spot. Nowhere else in the lineup, just the leadoff spot.
For the love of... And by the way, it looks... Mickey Moniak's not even playing. That's what's funny.
Oh, for
He
the
wouldn't have been
Rockies?
playing for us either.
No, probably not.
Honestly, I looked at the Rockies lineup today, and I'm like, I recognize 2 of these names.
Did Adele get hurt today, Specs?
Yeah, he hurt his calf.
Okay, I was like, why did he go 1 for 1 and get taken out of the game?
He had a cramp.
Paris isn't looking too bad as
He
a
had hip tightness. Sorry. He'll be
Hip
fine.
tightness. I mean, honestly,
We can talk. The Rockies are just gonna suck again.
It'd be so bad.
But
Can we
okay,
sell
bud.
the team? All right. Do we have anything
all I
else? Yeah.
No, I
cool.
think that's it.
All right. This is a short one.
I'm glad I put in 10 minutes of content.
Hell
You're
yeah.
welcome.
10
So
minutes.
you immediately just started talking to someone off camera.
Hell yeah. It's all right. We'll go to Fortnite. Thanks for watching. We'll be back Wednesday, as long as I don't forget about it, because I'm an idiot. Also, I'll talk to you guys after about the next couple Saturdays. But thanks for watching. See you. Talk to you.